Every high and crushing low taught me something invaluable: resilience. I began documenting my journey, recording every lesson and every step towards rebuilding my success and my mental, even if no one else was watching. I didn't know where this path would lead, but I had Frank, Rosario, and the memories of everything I built and lost, fueling my determination. What you're about to see is my journey, the highs, the lows, and every moment in between, captured during a time when I was all alone, but never defeated. I'm going to get back to being a millionaire. No matter what, I will make it.
How's it going, people? How's it going, people of the world? What is going on? Sorry, I'm so tired and shit. I'm the last week or two or whatever, I've just been fucking trying to do what I can, take Rosario to appointments and all this other stuff. I'm worn down. I'm actually I'm worn down, bro. You could even see it looks like I've grown 20 years old, bro. I'm just not even caring about doing this. I don't know, man. It's been crazy. So what's been going on? Well, first off, today is Saturday, March 2nd. Woo! It's what else we got? Let me see here. So Bitcoin is currently at 61,850. Let's go. 61. Let's go. 50 days till the halving. So that's something interesting that's going on. Big giant pumps, since last week. Ethereum is currently at, over 3. So about 3,430. Woo! So I mean, I guess it's going well or something like that. Let's get into also Robinhood, and I'll also show my Coinbase too, because I did something on accident, and I guess it might be a blessing in disguise. I have no clue, man. Okay, so check this out. For whatever reason, my Robinhood account was still set up to my old bank account. I no longer use my old bank account because obviously I'm a broke motherfucker. But it was still set for my old bank account, and what I was trying to do was trying to pull from my card. And for whatever reason, at the time, I don't know where it's gonna show, but anyways, I tried to take out $250 from my card, but it went from my old bank account. So my account, as you can see there, is margin called, which means that basically it can't do anything. It just basically sit until I pay the $250. But because the reason being is because that bank account I no longer have, so I guess it bounced back or whatever. So the thing is, though, I got my call options set for 3/15 and 4/19, so March 15th, and then IMPP call for $4 for the 19th of April. I don't know if those are gonna hit. Otherwise, I mean, if they don't, my account is fucking ruined for Robinhood, and that stock's gone. But you could see that it's not taking my stuff away. So I can literally just keep this. I guess I can just keep it here. Just keep it in, and hopefully, if it goes up, the highest it went up was, you can see it right there. The highest it's gone up is $5 to $508. From 250, more or less. The goal is to try to get $1,000 more or less off of this trade, and then get even more on the $4 trade. I think IMPP, I think I talked about it last time, but I think IMPP is just, it's undervalued and a lot of people don't see it. It's like to me, I see it as like the next GameStop. But we'll definitely see. We'll see what happens. This is the monthly outlook. You see that little spike at the very end? Or can you see the spike at the very end? Yeah. So that's the early spike, and then that's where it is now. But you can see it keeps on trying to hit this barrier, keeps on trying, and I feel like now it's gonna just push through, you know? Who knows? I've been looking at it. I've been looking at the stats. It's over the last 3 months, and this is over the last year. So you can kind of see there's like a pattern here, but if it breaks the pattern, as you can see here, if it breaks that trend, that line right here, if it breaks that, boom, it just skyrockets. And so the goal is for it to be right around, to get to at least this point. Very least to get it like right around there, you know? So that's the goal. There's a W pattern there. So giant W is being formed. So, but I can't trade stocks. I can't do anything. I just got to wait and see what happens. So hopefully it goes good. That's one. And again, I did the same thing for my Coinbase. It's weird. I can't actually show that, but I did the same because it's on this phone. But I did the same for my Coinbase, and I put either $200 or $250 in render token, and same thing happened. I can't take it out, or I mean, I can't do anything with it until I pay off like the $250. But in a way, it's kind of nice because it's kind of like credit. So unintentionally, it's kind of like having credit on both of those, and basically just being loaned out $250 on there and $250 on the other one, and basically just net profiting on whatever the value is. And I can net profit. It seems, I don't know if they're gonna just take it, you know, at any point, but it seems like I'm gonna be able to net profit at any point in time, you know. So I could just hold the accounts for, you know, 3 months straight until I make good profits. I don't know. Or at least until the call options are expired. So we'll see. Like I said, Robinhood is fucked. I'm not using Robinhood. If they fuck this over for me, then I'm just not using them. So eventually I'll pay back what's needed. But I'm just like, you know, I don't got cash right now. But that was an investment that I wanted to do straight from my card, and they didn't do that. So anyways, so I got those two things going. I got some interesting stuff happening as of late. I just launched the manga, finally. Only the English version. I gotta find a different translator for Spanish, because for one reason the lady that was trying to translate the Spanish version just bowed out and said, you know what, I got other better things to do, I'm not gonna do it, even though we talked, and she was like, yeah, this looks great. So I have no clue, but the Japanese version is gonna launch later this week, which is nice, and then hopefully I can find another Spanish translator. But I'm really not trying to spend too much money right now, so Spanish might be like more at the end of the month. At least I'll have English and Japanese, and then I could wait on Spanish, right? So that's been going good. What else? Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about the construction business. Last time I talked to you, it's dire need for fucking money and for Frank to really figure out what he wants to do. It's still like that this month. He's gonna really have to figure it out, because he's got a court order basically saying, hey, at the end of this month, your license is done. If you can't, you know, reapply for your license, you can't do anything for, I think it's like a year or so, but it might be longer. But essentially, there's nothing you can do. Everything is suspended, stuff like that, at the end of the month if you do not comply. And the problem is right now is that there's no money. It's been raining like crazy the last 3 weeks. At the very minimum, the last 3 weeks has just been nothing but rain. So literally almost a whole month of just nothing but rain, which is crazy. And for construction, that's huge. That means that you're not really working or getting anything done. 3 weeks is a big delay, right? And then also you have to schedule things out with crews and stuff, so it becomes difficult. But like literally, you know, not being able to make money, not being able to get leads, not being able to do anything, really hurts. It's really hurt the business, and so I have no clue what's going on. We have a couple of different plans. We're trying to seek legal advice from different lawyers this time, maybe ones that are a bit a bit more level-headed and understand things, to get a second opinion, to make sure 100% like if this is the route that we have to go, like as far as like just no license and restarting, that sort of thing. Like, we want to make sure that that's the last, like, that's the only step. Like, I feel like there has to be some way. Like, I feel like this is too common of an issue for most contractors, especially laid ones, which are people who are older, who don't know how to comply with, like, certain, like, things like, misbidding or lowering, accidentally, doing this or that, just small things, however, they basically got dinged on, and not having the right lawyer, not having this, not having that, things like that add up. But of course, like, it can't be the end of everything. There has to be like a reset button, at least like a one-time, like, reset. Sorry, can't do it. You know what I mean? So I told Frank, I was like, dude, we need to just get a couple extra opinions on this, because just relying on two lawyers, one's a bankruptcy lawyer and one's an actual lawyer, doesn't make me feel confident, because they're a little bit older, so they probably know what they're doing. But again, having 2 or 3 different options, just like if you're going to surgery for your spine, you want to make sure that this is going to be foolproof. Like, this is the only path. You need to hear it. Sometimes you got to hear it. So I'm doing that for him, to make sure that we get all every question that we have in our head, and so that way he can make the best decision for himself. We'll get that aligned so that we could figure this out. But yeah, no, it's hard times. I had my interview, I think 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I talked about it in the last video, but I had my interview about 2 weeks ago now, and I had no response. So I'm not too sure what that is. I got a text a couple of days back from the manager of the store saying he was looking into it, but it's like, I have never applied for a job and not gotten one after my interview. Like, even if it's like a couple of days after, usually it's like a couple of days after onboarding, literally the next week. I have never gone this long without after going to an interview and not getting the job. So it really pisses me off, in a sense, to know, like, not in an entitled way. Like, I guess this is kind of like a wake-up call, but it's like, I've never had this happen to me, and it's really weird. I think I called it too in one of my episodes, that it's like, it would be interesting if I can't get any job, the curse, right? If basically it's like God's just trying to, like, fucking take all my options away from me. Like, remember how I said with Amazon Flex, like, what the fuck with fucking what was the other one, with Fiverr. I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense with fucking Spark, I got, and not having my driver's license, not being able to not getting my registration, and like, all these things are piling up, and I'm like, bro. And then applying for all these jobs, I've applied for about 6 jobs in the last month, and I only got 1 interview so far, and even that didn't go. I'm just like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? And to anyone who's kind of like me, where it's like, you really are like you really strive to do your best during the interviews. You dress up, you make sure everything's good. You're applying for a job that you know that you're going to get. Like, you know, like, the confidence level of you getting it is like, 90 to 100%. It's like, what the fuck? I don't understand. Maybe it's just the market, maybe it's the economy right now, but I just find it very, very strange, very weird. So, it's just interesting to me. So that's going on as well. So I'm gonna keep applying for jobs and shit, but It's one of those things, man. We out here just hustling and shit. I've literally been every day for the last 2 weeks in my car, sitting in the parking lot, in a zone that is shit for everything, for DoorDash, for everything. I mean, I'm literally sitting for like 1 to 2 to 3 hours straight, just trying to get like $8 here, $5 here. Like earlier, I had a gig for like $5, and I said, should I take this? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll take it to pass time. But it was like 20 minutes for like $5, and I'm just like, man, just not worth it, man. Sometimes I'd say in my head, I'd rather just be at home and like fucking try to capitalize on something, but I just can't. I think before I started ranting, I talked about my manga releasing. We just released it. I'm very, very excited about it. It's definitely a weight off of, after the translations are done, it will definitely be a weight off my shoulders, because I've just been so in tune with, okay, what else do we need to do? What do we need to get done? This, that, everything in between. Like, it's been a process for sure. I'm still not done though. After this month, or like into next month, so after the contest and everything ends, and I see how that goes, I'm gonna put it on Webtoons as well. That's what I'll do secondly, and then I'll go ahead and start working on trying to see if I can't make the hard copies. So I'll start with the English first, just like before, and do the other ones later on. But it should be easy since I have everything organized. Everything's the same size and everything. So, and I've done my measurements. I've done the spine. I've done, just about everything that I've been thinking about future-proofing everything. So it's been nice to like kind of be ahead of the curve. It's been a lot of work, and a lot of money and time. But, to be ahead of the curve and kind of, know what I need to get done, it has been nice. So yeah, there's that. So that's fully done. My NFT project, that should be on a crowdfunding website later this week or early into next week. So today is Saturday, so it should be up either Sunday or Monday, or later into next week. They gotta fix a couple of things, but yeah, it's pretty much ready to be listed, to see if I can't get crowdfunded for 100K. Probably not gonna happen, but I can only hope, right, that the community is as, as informative and love my idea about how I plan to revolutionize animation on Web3. And so yeah, so hopefully that goes well. There's a 7-day period, I guess, for it to before it launches. So it'll be interesting to see if people really vibe with how the project would be and my goals for the future. If not, I have a backup plan, but I don't know how great it's going to be. So my partner, Pixo, I always get like tongue twisted. I forget that, but I have a partner who's really great as far as like 3D and animation and modeling goes, who's willing to try to pro bono his work, which is amazing. I mean, if that happens, it would be amazing. I mean, you're talking about $50,000 worth of work to help me with this project. And I would definitely do like a cut base where basically he gets like, if the project makes about like 300,000, he gets like 75,000. If it makes like a tier-based system where he can get a very like good share of the profits from the NFT launch. The only problem is, if this were to happen, I need to also find a blockchain developer who would also be pro bono to do the work, and then basically be fine with doing the work first and basically getting paid a percentage as well. So it'd also be probably double the pay that I was going to pay originally. So instead of, like, for example, a blockchain developer doing it for about $10,000, I'd say, okay, once we launch and we have a successful launch, I'll pay you $20,000 once we arrive at so and so number, which would be nice. I mean, doing that would be phenomenal. I don't think it'd be a lot of work, but you're talking about 3 to 4 months of work. Probably around 3 months, since we don't have a lot of work to do. It's really just basically getting all the modeling done and the texturing done. That would take probably the longest time. The rendering wouldn't take that long. It'd probably take a week or two. And trying to think of what else. Yeah, and making the website, all that stuff. I mean, it wouldn't take that long. The problem is that it's still an investment to some degree. I would still need somewhere around like $300 to $400 to get things started. So I mean, it's just one of those things that I have to like really, really think about. Probably even getting like a pro bono website designer. Like, I would need a lot of pro bono people, or even like just super cheap people to help me out with this project. And like I said, without it being fully funded, I don't even know if I could really go the pro bono route. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll have a meeting set up with him next week, and we can discuss how a pro bono setup would look like, and if he's got the manpower to do it, then it would be really nice. If not, then it's not really I'm gonna just have to cancel my idea for the project and just call it like that. It sucks, but it's like I've been trying so hard to try to get, just look at avenues to try to help the people who lost everything, like myself, in this, and yeah, it would just be, another passion project that just, failed. I don't know what more to say, but so yeah, I guess the only good thing that has come out of this whole situation is that Render has been really nice to me. The group, the operators, Render has gone up due to the AI hype and everything like that Nvidia and everything's gone through. I think they have a GTC meeting or whatever, like they have a yearly, like, oh, this is what we're going to do in the future, meeting in the next couple of months, if not next month. I think it's next month. So that would be nice. That'd be interesting. It's either this month or next month, but that would be interesting and nice to see what Otoy can do. Obviously, with more avenues, if they can grow their revenue, then it also improves the network, and by improving the network, it helps us operators. If you don't already know, being an operator is like a super niche thing right now. You basically render frames for people on the network, on the render network, and you basically get paid. So by having GPUs and stuff, you can basically just render things for people, and it works seamlessly, and you get paid. And as render appreciates, as the coin appreciates, you get more as well. So it's kind of like a cycle, right? My goal, hopefully, is that render eventually becomes like, let's say $50 or something crazy. And just by getting one render, you could basically have half a day's work. I see a day's work as being like $100. It's just a base measurement. So by basically rendering a couple of frames or an hour of your PC rendering or whatever, it makes $50 for you, which is crazy, and that would only be on one day. If you could do that every single day, I mean, you're talking about like almost about, because it could render for 7 days straight, right? So it could theoretically bring you in about $350 a week. That's $1,200 a month that you're not having to do anything. So if you have a spare computer or whatever, then you could just keep on, And the nice thing is that it scales up too. So, I've been able to like buy an extra graphics card, put it in, and basically make my money back, within like a month or two, which has been great. So, as far as scaling goes, yeah, it's been really interesting to see how you can like scale my setup. But it also helps in times of need where I'm like, okay, I gotta pay my car bill, and I just went and paid like, you know, $75 towards my car, and that was like 1 week of what I got paid from render. And it looks like this week I'm gonna get about $100. So it's like right now I'm averaging almost about roughly around $90 to $100 a week, just now in this time period, now that it's coming off and people are getting off of vacation and Chinese New Year and stuff. You see a lot more, you know, people starting to get back and do things again, and it's starting to pick up. It's starting to be a little bit more busy. So it's just nice to see that, you know, now I'm starting to like get paid, whereas before I wasn't really getting paid any. It really sucked. So it would be very interesting to see if, you know, not only do the jobs being rendered increase, but also the payment increase as render goes up. So that'd be that'd be a saving grace for me. And yeah, so those are the things I'm looking at. I'm still trying to get a stable job. I think I need that regardless. And like I said, once I have a stable job, I'll be good. But the problem right now is that I don't have a stable job, and I have to rely in a sense on whatever happens in the scenario of, you know, Frank, you know, not having any options and not being able to work, and his license gets suspended and we can't pay rent. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like that would be a dire and worst case scenario that I don't want to happen at all. And so that is why I am trying incredibly hard, even with no pay. And that's not like the biggest point. I'm just mentioning it because it's like, you know, that's how you know somebody really cares for you. It's like if they're doing services and things not with any kind of not with any intention of getting anything back, then, you know, that's how you know that they really care. Like, I could be on Frank's ass about, I'm owed $7,000 and all this other stuff. But at this point, I think everyone's come to an understanding, you know, the whole household has come to an understanding that, hey, you know, it is what it is. And there's no changing that, right? But I also put it in perspective too that at one point I owed Frank, I don't think I told this, maybe I did, but at one point I owed him like $4,000 or something like that, $4,000 to $5,000 based off of, I think I needed money for something, or no, he paid, I think it was because he paid for my car. He paid like the $3,500 for my car, and I said I'd pay him back, but I didn't have any money at the time to pay him back. And so that kind of kept on going until, you know, I think I owed him like $4,000 or $5,000 or something like that. But I can always look at it like that, where it's like, okay, this is just me paying the balance back, you know? So it's like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not really paying rent right now, obviously. So, you know, there's a lot of like ghost slack. Like, you know, once I get a job, I think I'm gonna have to pay rent no matter what. But it's one of those things where it's like right now everyone is at an understanding that there's nothing that can be done, so it's almost like a pause on everything. It's like freeze everything. We need to just start thinking about how we could save the burning building, you know? And everyone's doing it, you know? And, you know, that's a beautiful thing when you have, you know, essentially family, you know, that you could rely on and stuff like that to help out in situations of need. So that's all I gotta say. You know, it's just one of those things, and we'll see where it goes. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
There we go. Like, there's like a lot. What the fuck? It's like 20 million bees all around here. Hope I don't get stung.
So if you thought the video was good, please give it a like and share. It really helps. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see the rest of the story unfold. This project is so close to my heart, and your support keeps it going. Thanks so much. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time in the archives of a Shiba Millionaire.